Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on Angela Petina Presents. And I have a special guest from Singapore. He does wellness consulting, counseling for corporates and individuals. Also, he loves mindfulness and provide assistance to all those individuals inspired to grow in the business field. But also, he loves the academic field by connecting people with tutors and student services worldwide. His name is Marc Buditjahjono. Let's learn more about him. All right. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you, Angela. Thanks so much for arranging for this. I'm very excited. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually in the background when I heard the interview with my mom because I was helping her set up with Zoom and all that. So I heard your voice and I feel like we've got good synergy going even before formally meeting you. So I'm really excited to do this and have a chat.
Yes, exactly. No, thank you so much. And I love your mom, and she's very inspirational, very beautiful, a beautiful soul. We have
Thank
our
you.
friendship. I would say like 7 years ago on Facebook, and it was,
Wow.
yes, and she's very supporting. She's a great person, and that was an honor for me to do interview with her on the contest that she was participating as for Miss Singapore 2022 to inspire other women above 40 years and older and things like that. So it's a very beautiful project, and it was super great to see how your support with your mom all the time that you work with her, and she also mentioned that all your trajectory as a entrepreneur, as a businessman, and a very young age, and this it's very beautiful to meet people like you to inspire new generations and other people, to move forward on their dreams.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Like, of course, I've heard from several of my mentors because I'm in several different spaces, right? About like how I'm a young leader, how I have the ability to inspire others, but I'm also still trying to find my groove because I'm so young. So it's a bit of dabbling here, dabbling to there. I'm really trying to find myself and, of course, grow. And at the same time, I think it's more so like, in the pursuit of it, in the process, hopefully, I'll find more bits and pieces to myself. Of course, it's an evolution, right? Like with any human being. We all grow in our own personal capacity. I definitely believe in supporting others. So yeah, see where I go. Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But thank you so much, Marc, for being my show. It's an honor. And
Oh, it's mine too.
thank you so
It's more of an honor
much.
for me.
And I was reading your curriculum and your trajectory at a very young age. Excuse me, I ask you this question. How old are you?
I'm 21 actually, but I'll be
21. Wow, you can be my son.
I'm really, really young. Yeah.
That's nice. And thank you for being my shonen, because I love people like you to, bring inspiration to people like your age and your generation and others. And I was reading that you are director for as a wellness, you're wellness consultant, counseling for corporates and individuals. That's your main title. And for your expand curricular and business. And my question is, as investor relation and government manager for Herman Capital Limit, can you tell us what is your role on that particular business? Because it's more like you provide consulting for real estate, for entrepreneurs, for investors. Can you tell us what is your role on that particular business?
Sure. Okay, so I guess the titles are a little bit wishy-washy, and of course for wellness consulting, what I do is that I help corporates as well as individuals on free holistic wellness advice, because I feel like there's a lot of knowledge that we're not really getting right now. So it could be really beneficial and advantageous for everybody to know a bit better. By background, my academics are in law and psychology. I'm also a certified trained counselor in Singapore, although I don't practice counseling so much per se, because I feel that to be a really good counselor, you need a lot of life experience in itself. So I don't want to be out there potentially not serving the best psychotherapy to individuals. Rather, I'm more there to help analyze critically someone's wellness, whereby I provide free advice, be it at a corporate level. For example, my boss Lisa at Wellness Consulting Private Limited has done, for Standard Chartered, HSBC, various companies. I'm also newer, like I was previously, or rather still am, an intern at Wellness Consulting Private Limited, although I've done hundreds of scans and given hundreds of people my take on, the advice. I really am still learning because I'm so young, right? Like I also believe there's always room for optimization. For example, my own sleep, which is the pillar of health. I'm getting only 5 hours each night because I'm just so busy. I think you would know from seeing my social media. So I'm trying to up my sleep and sleep better because I'm too energetic. For human capital, right? So yeah, we're involved in real estate as well as a lot of social enterprise funds. We're a venture capital. So what we do is that we find startup companies and we match them with like a really, really seasoned investor or just someone who's looking to invest in a startup company. So how VCs work is that they try and find a unicorn. Why we say unicorn is because of the fact that it's imaginary and rare, right? So if we just manage to find one company that makes a lot of money by investing in that, we profit. But usually 95% of the time with all the companies out there, most of them fail. But again, it's not really about the, end product. We're in there for the process, especially since I'm so young, you see. Of course, my title doesn't really matter as much because my boss did say it's more about learning, it's more about the investor relations. But we did give myself a very formal title. It's called Investor Relations and Governance Manager. Just means that I help liaise with people more so because I'm a really interpersonal social person. I help liaise, I help, I guess, pitch ideas, I help try and raise funds, although it's a bit difficult in the current recession market.
Yes,
And the
exactly.
governance element, yeah, so it's really difficult. So I've learned that not everything is so smooth sailing. I don't really take failure too personally these days, although I feel tired when I face failure, as this anyone. So basically this whole year has been learning, has just been really, really fruitful and beneficial for me. And it was really striking when you asked me to come to your show because you mentioned mindfulness before. I've seen your YouTube channel and you seem to be a very positive, radiant, resilient person as well. That's why I think we align so much. Yeah, even though I'm much younger, I am an old soul. So I'm
Yes,
always thinking
exactly.
these things. Yeah.
Yes, because it's not an easy role to be able to um to provide advice as for investors and things, especially nowadays because of the recession, as people are feel very panicked to invest, and it's normal because in some of the countries, for example, and it's very common, for example, in Latin America, because I live in Mexico and also in Texas,
Yes.
but people like in Mexico and South America, or you get your money for groceries, or you take a risk to invest for something. And I'm not saying not everybody how can I say, mass majority of people have difficulties to be able to take a risk because of risk. But also, I have a background in economics, and what I learned in my bachelor's is that these types of situations give you the opportunity to make money if you take the right risk.
That's
That's
right.
yes, is for those people who has the ability and no fear. They control their fears, and they build the confidence. It's a great opportunity for a lot of people to be able to make good investments.
Yeah, to
And
leverage, to benefit, definitely. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And
But
how
it's
you
like,
develop that skills? Did you get I think you mentioned you have a mentor, and it's how you develop to understand the business world. Can you tell us about that?
definitely lots of mentoring and learning a lot because I've always been someone really young. So obviously, if you just throw me into the other side of the ocean, is really, really difficult. So a lot of mentoring and I would say hand holding that I'm grateful for because I don't think I've been thrown into any sort of deep end of the sea yet. Of course, I'm proactive and I'm pretty, I guess, independent as an individual. So my definition or my idea of being deep end versus someone else's could be very, very different because I have a certain level of independence since I was really, really young. I went into the army at 16, which would be a different subject altogether that we'll go into later on. Yeah. And in relation to what you said just now about the whole recession idea and cost benefit analysis and economics, because I did economics at the high school level, not in university though, I definitely think it's definitely a lot of risk taking and having to analyze what could really benefit and add value because people are often, I guess, put off by the opportunity cost, right? We can't really tangibly see how that could turn out or get a result. And more often than not in this recession economy, or say you have someone really conservative, they really can't see why they should part with that initial sum, that principal, and they won't really take action, which is why it's really difficult, especially for me. Even without my mentor, I'm just a 21-year-old guy, right? My background really is not in finance at all, zero. So I find it very difficult to build rapport financially, or rather to get people to invest. Even if I pitch an idea really well, I found a really, really well-rounded startup team with great founders, because at the end of the day, I am, first impressions count. I'm a 21-year-old guy. My background isn't in finance, so it's difficult to up my credibility, which was a challenge I found in the VC world, as opposed to the wellness consulting world. Because wellness consulting world, I guess, in terms of my presentations, which I've been trained to do by my mentor, Lisa. I'm also a certified counselor. I've got a lot of background in psychology. I'm also trained in mindfulness, by the way, for the MSBR, Mindfulness Stress-Based Reduction course at SMU University Singapore. I've done that short course there. So I'm more well-rounded for wellness consulting as of now. But of course, both realms are my interest. So I really plan on building myself up and then seeing how it goes. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you can, so in other words, you apply mindfulness for people to build confidence in business, for example, and things like that, to build their own confidence. That's your main specialization on that, or you apply mindfulness for any field in their life?
It's actually pretty broad, because of course, if I advise an individual just on a personal level, like say I get coffee with someone, or say example for free wellness advice, of course I could incorporate mindfulness and try and target it through to elevate certain parts, say bring our attention to our breath more. In relation to your question of getting mindfulness towards the corporates, in theory, I have presented the idea before, but I haven't actually done that to the corporates yet, because my presentation is quite grounded on nutrition right now, as well as I guess maybe other things like positive psychology. I haven't really went into the whole mindfulness route specifically yet per se, although it's a really good area to go into. So I would really want to start implementing that into my presentations. Great, kudos to you for bringing that up for me. What we do is that we partner up with specialists from different areas. That's why it's holistic wellness. For example, we'll just give a whole talk to maybe the company. Then we might engage a yoga specialist, because I am partnered with a yoga center, Odas Yoga in Singapore, and I'll just ask them to like be the conductor or do chair yoga for the corporates, because I'm not trained in yoga to like conduct, right? So it makes more sense to get an expert, or if mindfulness per se, I would probably get like a really good mindfulness speaker who's seasoned and experienced to do it. Because even though I have been exposed to the course, I'll admit to everyone right now on screen that I don't think I'm the best person at mindfulness right now, simply because of my mental state of mind. I'm very, very active. I'm not very like cognizant and like paying attention to things around me. So I would probably just explain the theory about mindfulness to the corporates and then outsource. What the best thing I think I'm able to do right now is communicate effectively, as well as build rapport with people through talking. But I don't think mindfulness is like up there in terms of my skill sets, honestly, right now. But we're all in a journey, so yeah.
Yes, pues life is a journey. When you the more time is passing through your life, you're gonna develop more confidence to say, okay, let me give you coaching about life path and things like that. And just for your information, I have a very good friend. She's a successful actress. Her name is Natasha Rosmills. I will be connecting with you. And she is specialized in mindfulness coaching. And she has a second role for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's gonna be a worldwide feature film. It's expected to be screened on February 15th. But she's been passing very difficult things in her life, and she applied this in the mindfulness. Yeah, I think it will be great if you both get together or something, and maybe we invite to get a chat together. But yeah, so
it's really nice that your platform's connecting all of us. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. But that's the purpose, Mark. It's inspirational and also human connections, and it's yes, and it's part of we are like a family. We grow together, and we are everybody going to the same path to reach the happiness and the positivity of our soul, and to be able to help each other. One day if somebody is watching you and they can connect with you and you can connect with others and vice versa, that's the
Yeah,
purpose.
I think that's the most beautiful thing is like bi-directional, or rather in all directional empowerment, right? Like,
Exactly.
why not? Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. And actually, with your mom, we're gonna meet tomorrow with another
Oh, I'm
super talented friend of mine, Alain, and both of them, they were inspirational, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring inspiration to other women, and just that's the purpose, to connect, you know, bring positivity. Yes,
that's
that's the purpose.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Mark, and also, your mom mentioned that you are tutor and you provide for subjects like English, Chinese, math, science, geography, history, literature. Can you
So
tell us what is the
basically,
program about?
sure. So academics is really, really large in Singapore, even in Australia, because I've grown up a few years and done schooling in Australia as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is that I find parents or people who need private tutoring tutors, and I match make, but I don't do things like quick sales, because a lot of things in Singapore is focused on just sales. I'm really customer approach oriented. I really want both parties to feel satisfied. So for example, say you want a tutor, I'll find you a tutor by finding you the most suitable, maybe top 5 applicants, and then based on that, I'll kind of have a little cute debate or help the parent weigh the pros and cons of each tutor, and then they can pick the one that they think will be
That's
most
good.
beneficial for their child. I also tutor myself, but my time is tight, so I can't be like tutoring, like nonstop, because like there's only 24 hours in a day. So if I really feel I add values to a certain child and maybe a teenager, because I do tutor up to the, I guess, I'm not sure what it's called in America, but year 12 or pre-college, like the final year, senior year. I do tutor up to that level, and I specialize in English and psychology because I'm pretty articulate and I'm really great with essays. And for psychology, I'm really great with analyzing things. I really do try and add value even outside of my tutoring session. For example, I'm engaged with my students or ex-students via text, via WhatsApp, and I really do enjoy mentoring them, and even giving them a little bit of input from my take on life, or even talking about mindfulness or psychology, or just helping them if they have got dilemmas about university applications or where they should go next. Because I feel like I've been in the lost sort of position before, so why not help other people? Because I went into, or rather I skipped 2 grades in school. So I was like always the youngest. I was 2 years younger, and I actually graduated 2 years early at 16 and a half. So you can see that because of being in that position where you're a little bit like, where should I go next? Do I feel that I'm always going to be at a good place by being so fast and so accelerated, right? That same sense of confusion is something I want to help others navigate in between. Yeah.
That's
And get clarity.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Yeah.
That's beautiful, beautiful. And I love to meet people that they are good in academics, but not only for the academics, but also student support services to guide students, to guide them what is the opportunities to obtain scholarships or financial assistance and all these things that nowadays people, they have a fixed idea attending college is impossible, but sometimes there are different roads. It's just to make a research depending on the country they're living and things like that.
Yeah. Definitely, knowledge is power. You need to make that knowledge and this area of specifics more accessible to everyone. So I think it's really good if we can like help people search for it and just connect them with that relevant info. It'll make them feel more
Exactly.
encouraged, right? As long as they see it's like possible. Yeah.
Yes, 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 and please send me all the information for people at at the end of the video of the box description. They can be able to see that and they can connect with you. And no
Sure.
matter
Yeah.
which country they are, as long as with your, like, as your company, what it does, they connect with the right people. It can be any country from the world that can contact you, and then you connect with the right
I can try,
person
yeah, if
to.
you
Yeah.
find them, yeah. But normally I am Singapore based a lot, as well as Australia based. But I'm always open to connecting with anyone wherever you are in the world. Just shoot me a message, be it someone from your network or whoever, because I always want to try and add value where I can, and I'm also always open to inputs of how other people can think I can improve or add value to myself. Because I believe, like as you said, we're always growing in this little ecosystem of like-minded people. We're all humans, right? So we might as well all connect and all add value and all get inputs and all
Yes.
feel good and positive. Yeah.
Exactly. No, pues that's beautiful. And going back to for you about your mother, how was your experience attending the content for the Constance, difficult for me to pronounce the name.
all good.
For Miss Singapore, how was the experience working with your mom and being on that beautiful event? How was the experience? How you feel
So
about that?
so I felt really, I would guess excitable, but also really more so nervous because it was really difficult walking with her. But we were a great duo, so we worked really well together. But it was more so all the rehearsals, there's hours and hours on end that's not seen. So that was really nerve-wracking, having to walk away for your turn and just make sure it's perfect. Because there are instructors like really making sure the whole event is really polished. So that was nerve-wracking, and also my first time like walking on stage like that. I used to do like very like low-key like fashion modeling before, so I have walked the runway before, so but it's really different for this because you are walking with someone with a gown, you don't want to trip or anything like that, so you feel a lot of nerves overall. So Mrs. Singapore World is basically a pageant for married women. I think my mom's covered that in her interview. So I felt that it was really great that it was empowering everyone, empowering women. But normally what happens is that the Mrs. Singapore contestant or finalist walks with their husband because they're all married with a husband. But my dad's really shy, so he didn't want to walk with her, so he was like literally at the table like hiding. That's why I'm the only son walking up with her on stage. And there were so many judges or like people who were at the event when my mom won third runner-up and most confident queen later on the night, who came up to me and they were like, wow, Mark, or like, wow, Lorraine, Mark, your story is so inspirational. I love like a single mom story. And I'm just like standing there going, oh, what do I say? Because I'm not a single mom story, but like people are like, oh wow, what a wonderful, right, single mom story. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, it's just my dad is shy. Yeah.
Yes, but it's beautiful to see they're working with their sons and their kids. That's it's very beautiful and inspirational how you, for example, you're supporting your mom, be working with her, you feel very proud. It will be also beautiful your dad be attending, but I think it was a great combination, both of you working together. That's very beautiful.
Thank you. It's like we were journeying side by side because we've always been really close. She saw me throughout my whole like life, right? She's my mother, and I'm an only child, so I've been very, very closely knit to her, as well as my grandmother, so my mom's mom. So I felt that everyone was supporting us. I felt very, very good that I could pay for and support my mom. I just felt that I could finally, help her in her goal, because that was a big goal of hers. Yeah.
That's fantastic, fantastic. Marc, the last question I asked to all my guests and friends. What advice can you share to those people who want to reach their dreams in the business field or education field and mentoring? Well, what advice you can give to them?
Be really conscious about your well-being and intentional, because although my personality is a go-getter and really, really proactive, we never really think, especially if we're at a young age, that we have a burnout point. Because I did burn out like close to this year, although I keep on continuously going. And for my burnout, it wasn't really like a crash. It was more so I felt a lot of fatigue. So burnout happens in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. Just pay more attention to your own body is what I would give advice to people, because we always never know. We think we have unlimited energy, at least for my case, but it's not. It's like debt. It's like borrowing money. You're just borrowing energy till you crash, which I realized finally this year. So pay attention to yourself and pay attention to those around you, so we all can be well and stay well and be intentionally well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Marc. It was nice meeting you. Looking forward for more interviews with you to bring more inspirational to others. Yes. And looking forward to
catch up with
yes, to make arrangement. We can make a chat with Natasha about mindfulness, about her experience with the actress and you as a businessman. So I think it will be a good combination.
Thank you. I'm open to meeting you both and learning from your guys' perspectives. Yeah. Thank you, Angela.
Fantastic. All right, Marc. Was happy holidays, happy new year. I wish all the best to you, your beautiful mom and your dad. And I will see you soon. Take care so much.
You all the best. Likewise. Stay safe, stay well. I can't wait to see this on YouTube. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.